Welcome to Elevating Your Life, where each episode is dedicated to sharing valuable information, useful techniques, and empowering inspiration so that you can experience personal and physical abundance. Success and happiness are within your reach. I am your go-to gal who will help you find your happiness triggers and a true elevated life. I am your host, Paula Vail. Hello, everyone. Welcome again. Fantastic show for you today. I am so thrilled to share with you Anahata Ananda. She blends the compassion and tenderness of an angel and the wisdom and strength of a shaman to guide profound journeys of core healing, spiritual awakening, and much more. I had the privilege of meeting her several years ago in Sedona, Arizona, where she resides, and she changed my life. I'm so happy to have you on the show today, dear.
Oh, it's always a pleasure, Paula. You and I, our energy just weaves. It's so sweet. It's such a remembering our connection, our kindred spirits, and grateful as always to be in the presence of your radiance and as you shine a light on with inspiring topics for people watching and listening. It's always an honor, and I just appreciate our connection and sisterhood. It means the world to me.
Thank you so much. And I'll never forget how I had all these flyers I was looking at while in Sedona, and you were the one I picked to reach out to. You know, it just, there you go, shows us we meet who we're meant to meet.
Yeah, and this is, this is about following the intuition, is that, sometime our soul, our angels, whatever you want to call that, is giving us little whispers, and little whispers brought us together. And I'm grateful that you trusted your intuition and that you followed your intuition that day, because here we are.
It's such a powerful thing, our intuition. Yeah. And that brings me to our topic today. Aligning with your soul's mission. That's what we are going to really be inspired about. So please jump on in. We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you. I think in these times there is a lot of seeking, and where things that, a career or a path just doesn't feel as soulful as it used to at some point. And we might have been drawn to different things in our life because we weren't listening to our intuition, and we were just kind of following what society told us to do. Okay, here's what you do next, and here's what you do next. And we might just find ourselves having created a life that doesn't nourish us or fulfill us, or some aspect of it we've outgrown, and it doesn't quite fulfill us the way it used to. And there's a stagnancy or a discontentness, or a loathing or disdain. Sometimes it's like, I just can't stand this job or this feeling or this boss. And these are all signals from the divine, that inner feeling that something isn't quite right is the intuition, is our spiritual counsel giving us clues that that's because this next chapter, or you're being trained for something else, or it's time to move into the direction of your soul's calling, and you've just been preparing, collecting tools and experiences that are preparing you for your soul's path. And what I think is interesting is that there's different ways that we can come to our soul's mission or our soul's path. Sometimes it is from a pain, and this might have happened from our childhood. Maybe there was a trauma in childhood or something we were exposed to where we have a deep connection to this pain because, it lands as home. There's a place that we can just connect with because maybe a parent had mental illness, or there was addiction in the household, and it rings home and true for us because we've had an experience or a trauma that has provided us perspective, insight, and experience that actually has been training us to support a mission in that advocates for some resource, some resolution, some support with an issue that is near and dear to our heart because we've been touched by it in some way. And in that touching of our heart and in our pain and our trauma, sometimes we are drawn passionately to help in that area because we've been touched by this issue in some way. And sometimes it's just this calling, like, look, I'm an accountant. Why am I being called to Reiki? Or I'm just a housewife, or I'm just I'm just this guy doing this thing. And why do I keep feeling this calling? And sometimes it will be in the complete other direction of your life's training and your education and the skills that you've acquired so far, but you just keep getting this tug or this pull to move in this direction, or there's a curiosity and it just won't quite let you go. So sometimes that's the way our soul's mission shows itself, is a tug or a pull, or I'm just drawn to learn something that seems ridiculous and doesn't make sense, because who am I to do that? I don't have any affinity there. I don't have any skills there. And yet the calling is so great. And this, in the other path, it might be because it's touched our heart and it's personal to us. And we can speak with a level of experience and authority. And there's a passionate calling. And then I may need to train or learn to acquire, to have a place for our skills, to have a platform for gifts that may be latent, that are waiting to come forward, that are just waiting for us to say, okay, I'm going to just take this course, or I just keep feeling drawn to pick up this book or learn from this teacher. And this is following those little clues, those little knocks, and sometimes, big shakes of like, you've got to do this. And the other times, sometimes it's from a place of pain. If let's just say as a child, the ocean was very dear to you, or the forest was very dear to you, and now those environments are being threatened, and you're seeing trash, or national parks are being taken over, and you feel, hey, I want to preserve this for my children, because seeing it desecrated hurts so much that you just have to put yourself forward and begin to advocate or open a foundation or something like that, because you want to preserve it, and seeing it in this space of not being in alignment, and you just have this calling to support in some way. That might be politics. It might be, I want to open a foundation. It might be, I want to take my accounting skills and go work for a nonprofit that is in alignment for the oceans. And so it's not like the soul path is always the same for, it's like, oh, here's how it is, follow the steps, because we're all going to have different reasons and different knocks on the door, in essence, or experiences or passions or pains or intuition that are inspiring us to move in a certain direction.
And that's a powerful statement. I know in my own life, I've been on a certain path or track and think I know what I'm going to do and what I want to, and then something does come and you're like, I love this. This is a passion of mine and I didn't even know it. I'm going to go this direction. And that can be from just something that opens up. It can be from a challenge that gives you new perspectives. That is really a powerful statement. It is very true.
And this is where we get to listen, Paula. This is the first, step in finding your soul's mission or aligning with your soul's mission, is listening to the clues. Sometimes the clues are, I'm frustrated with where I am, which means it doesn't fit any longer. Sometimes those are the clues. Or I'm really irritated that this issue, there is no solution, there's no movement or resolution towards this issue, whether it's gun control or environmentalism or domestic violence. There's no progress here, and it's irritating me. And sometimes that is the invitation to listen. Hey, how can I get involved? I might be able to speak to a council person. I might be able to speak on behalf of this. I may be able to run for office, open up an organization, promote change in some way. And a lot of times the reasons we stop ourselves from doing that is, well, who am I? Who am I to throw my hat in the ring for this? Who am I? I'm just a person. And every change leader, every innovator, every spiritual leader has always had to face this, who am I? Gandhi was like, well, who am I? I'm just an attorney. Who am I to actually advocate for human rights and things that are ethical and for peaceful protests? Who am I? Thich Nhat Hanh, who was, just a Buddhist monk that was told to be peaceful, and yet he said the Vietnam War should not be happening. And it was this calling to say this is not okay. And he's just a monk in Vietnam, and yet now he's, one of the most prolific authors in Buddhism. And, Mother Teresa, who is she to, well, she just has this calling in her heart. And so if you have a calling, and sometimes it comes from a frustration, sometimes it comes from personal wounding, and sometimes it comes from just pure inspiration or passion, the invitation is to listen to the clues that your soul is laying out for you. And face that inner critic or that limitation or that little voice that says, well, I can't do that because I'm just blank. And if God or the divine or your soul has already agreed to this mission for you, well, then you are the perfect place for it. You're the perfect person for it. And the divine or your soul has it right, and it's just waiting for you to get on board with it. And so sometimes we might have a little, pause, or a little story, or a little, no, pick somebody else to write that book. And you're like, who are you to be a radio show,
Yes.
and an internet talk show host? Well, who are you not to be? As Marianne Williams says, who are you not to be? Fabulous and gorgeous. And so sometimes we may need to wrestle with our inner demons of worthiness and feel, well, I'm no Gandhi, or I'm no this. Well, you don't need to be. You don't have to be that. But there is something already calling you and stirring you. And I don't underestimate anyone watching or listening. When you are aligned and you have passion and you have purpose and you have an inner fire, whether it's coming from this cannot continue, or I'm just following I'm just following these little breadcrumbs and I don't know where it's taking me. But there's a level of trust that begins when you just follow. Just like you followed your intuition to pick up the flyer, or you followed your intuition to become a show host. This is not something you were raised with a dream to do this, or were honed, groomed by your parents to do this. You've been following the clues of your angels, and here you are doing wonderful work. And look at her smile. She loves what she's doing, and this is, I love what I'm doing. And this is one of the beautiful benefits of following your soul's mission, is that it nourishes you at levels in which things that are not your purpose just continue to fall short. Yeah. And that's where depression and anxiety and insecurity and addiction stem from, is a lot of times because we're really not on our mission or in our alignment, and there's a betrayal of our inner truth that we're wrestling with, and that misalignment then creates distortion. And so a lot of times our emotional health, our spiritual health, our mental health will shift, and, get amplified and harmonized when we are in alignment with our soul's mission, which is a great extra bonus.
It is. It is. And what would you say to the viewers who are asking themselves, okay, how do I listen more to my intuition and open that up? What steps can I take? What would you say to them?
I'd say that, intuition speaks in many ways. Sometimes it's your emotions, and to listen to that. And sometimes we'll get a message and we step back. And so the invitation is to just try and see what happens. Pick up the flyer when you feel like it and see what happens. And if you're getting these messages and synchronicities like, wow, this is the third time someone mentioned this book or Sedona or this show, pay attention to the synchronicities. They come in pains in the physical body, emotional amplifications. They come with little whispers or synchronicities or repetition. And, it's knocking on the door all the time. It's just whether or not we're listening. And so what if you gave yourself permission to just try it? And that may mean that if I follow my intuition, my friends or family might judge that as weird. My friends or family might think that is not practical. And so we're also going to be facing other people's judgment of us following our path, and it's not making sense to them. And so most of the time when you begin to follow your soul's mission, people will question it. Some of your closest friends or family members might even question that. And you're not here to walk their soul's mission or walk the mission that they would have you walk, because that won't necessarily bring you to your greatest passion, nor will it bring you to your greatest power and joy. And so there will be some unenmeshment of some, well, what will my friends think, or what will my family think, that allows us a level of freedom to follow this inner calling. So what if you just gave yourself permission to listen to one of those and just see what happens? And you can do that quietly over here and just start testing it out and see if the outcome provides some benefit or opens some door or fixes some problem or challenge that you've been working with. So start playing in small places with testing your intuition and see what happens.
How fun and exciting is that?
Go ahead and test,
And so many things can open up and so many things can come to you when we do that. It really is fascinating how the direction of our life can change. New passions can open up, new opportunities and manifestation. It's endless, isn't it?
And it can be so much easier than we think, because when we're not in alignment and we're coming with force, we reach for the wrong time, we push and try to force a door to open that's not ours. It's not ours. And we just create, pain and suffering for ourselves and delay our own abundance, joy, and peace. And we actually find that when we follow the intuition, life gets easier. And it doesn't mean that being on the soul's path is always easy and without its challenges, because if you are on your soul's path and your soul's mission, then you're going to keep growing as a soul, and you will be provided with opportunities to look at your fears, face any insecurities, anything that is in the way of blocking your fullest expression will be shown. And so the journey is going to keep showing you how to refine your essence and more deeply walk in truth, which is going to stretch us sometimes. And the reward on the other side is so delicious. It does get easier, and we have more tools, and we're able to trust, especially in times like this where the unknown is really every day. We don't know what's around the corner. We aren't always in control of what's happening externally in the external environment. But when we have this tool of inner listening and trust, and we're able to quiet our mind and listen to our intuition, of saying, well, what are the next 2 steps? Just give me the next 2 steps. Then doorways start opening up, momentum starts happening. And then we just keep asking that question. What are the next 2 steps? We go take those 2 steps, see what happened, learn from it, improve, ask again, what are the next 2 steps? And it becomes a life lived by intuition, and greater joy, as we can see by the smiles on both of our faces, that we just are doing what we love to do, which perhaps was not always the case.
Yes. Yes. I know myself that, you know, in my life, there were trails I was running on, and I ended up down a different path, and oh my gosh, the fulfillment and the openings, but it took a little courage at times to say,
Yes.
well, I just was sure this is what I wanted.
Yeah.
Should I try that? But oh my gosh.
It is a path for the humble, you know, that acknowledge that I went down this path, and the spiritual journey is not a straight line. It meanders, and it will take you here to learn this lesson, and it will take you over there to know what you don't want, and it will take you through this experience so that you learn this skill, and that you are learning how to be resilient, or innovative, or creative, or in greater faith. This will challenge you. These big tests will challenge you so that it strengthens your fortitude, which is all of what will allow us to be able to stand in our truth and follow our path, and face anything that comes our way in a deep trust that is grounded in experience and knowing. And from that place, total freedom, total trust, whatever happens, there is just a level of, okay, I can figure it out, because I have the right tools, and I have the right guidance, and whatever I need to let go of, I will, to follow a path that is meant for me. So we get a little better sometimes about letting go of things that used to define us, or that we were attached to.
And that just opens up so much. With a few minutes left in the show, what last words do you want to leave with everyone today?
Everyone has purpose inside. Everyone is a seed of divine creation that you've already agreed upon with your higher self, creator, soul, God, angels, universe, however you want to frame that you've already been agreeing that this is inside of you, or that there is something inside of you that is perfect for you. Trust that the universe doesn't make mistakes. If it's giving you a dream, if it's giving you a tool, a feeling, a passion, a desire, a curiosity, that is a clue to follow. And I want to give your audience a free gift. In that quantum manifestation that I so deeply get behind is this a free guided quantum visualization to help people see themselves following their soul's mission, manifesting the dream and the life that they love. And so I want to give your listeners, and we'll have the link in the show notes, where to get that free gift, and also a discount for some upcoming programs that are available, because I'm here. I'm in Sedona for those people that are able and drawn to come to Sedona and have a soulful journey of healing, awakening. Right here, you can find me on shamangelichealing.com. And, you know, with the recent experiences, the innovation to be a lot more virtual, there's more virtual shamangelic breath work, workshops, counseling, all kinds of things that are happening online, my online coaching program. There is all of these things available so that you don't have to go it alone when you're navigating, letting go of those things that you've been attached to, and stepping forward into follow your soul's mission. That in any way I can support that journey, that I'm here, and Shamangelic Healing is here to support you along the path.
Oh, thank you so much. And a heartfelt thank you, Anahata, for, so much you do for everyone, your words, your podcasts, everything you do. You are an angel. Yeah.
Oh, likewise.
One of the
And for
many angels on
for
this
all of those
planet.
angels listening or watching,
Yes.
let's support Paula in everything that she's doing. Let's share this with a friend, or tag a friend, or give her a rave review in whatever way we can support her, so that all that she gives out comes back to her 100-fold. May you be blessed, Paula, and may this project deeply land in the hearts and the minds of the people that need it right now. So thank you for being an angel yourself.
Thank you. Oh, love, hugs, and blessings, my friend. Everyone out there, love, hugs, and blessings. Thank you for joining us.